In this video, I'm going to cover the 2G position for shielded metal arc welding a pipe, which is the vertically fixed position. We're going to be using the 6-inch Schedule 80 pipe for your projects. First things first, we must prep and fit up our pipes correctly. It is important to bevel your pipe at the correct angle, approximately 37.5 degrees. The sharp or feathered edge of the bevel should be ground flat. This area is called a root face or landing. Your root face or landing can be a 1/16, a 3/32, or an 1/8 of an inch. So right here, that is your root landing or the face. Reason for a root face or landing is to help the welder control both penetration and root suckback. Penetration control is improved because there is more metal near the edge to absorb excessive arc heat. This makes machine adjustments less critical by allowing the molten weld pool to be quickly cooled between each electrode movement. Your gap size for your pipe can be a 1/16, a 3/32, or an 1/8 of an inch. Typically when I'm welding pipe, I have a 3/32 landing and a tight 3/32 gap. This all depends on your amps that you're running. Since we are not working off a WPS, you can choose your landing and gap size, so whatever you feel comfortable with. All pipe welds are made up of a series of individual weld passes. The different types of weld passes needed to make a pipe are almost always the same. So your root pass, your hot pass, your filler passes, and your cap or your face. However, the number of filler and cover passes can be different depending on what size electrodes you're using and depending on the size of your welds. So after you have your pipe prepped and have decided what gap size you're going to use, you will need to tack your pipe in 4 places: the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Your tacks need to be a 1/2 of an inch to an inch long, no longer than an inch for your tacks. After you put your 4 tacks in, you need to feather both edges paper thin on your tacks. That way you get 100% penetration for your root. Imperfections on your root can cause a number of problems for the pipe. Incomplete fusion or underfill will reduce the pipe's ability to withstand the force that a good root weld joint could. Make sure for any start-stops you're feathering the weld down before restarting. Your amp range for the electrode 6010s on your root pass can be roughly between 60 to 80 amps depending on your landing, gap size, and the motion you use. For your root, there needs to be 100% penetration and can be flush to an 1/8 of an inch, but cannot be under flush or over an 1/8 of an inch. Next pass after your root pass is your hot pass. So right here, hot pass, that's going to be your second pass. You'll be using E7018 electrodes. You can either use the 3/32 or 1/8 inch electrodes. Depending on what size electrode you use depends on the amps you will run. If you're using a 3/32 electrode, your amp range is roughly between 70 to 100 amps. Right here. If you're using an 1/8 of an inch electrode, your amp range is roughly 115 plus. So right here. Anything less will make your electrode stick more for the 1/8 of an inch rod. The hot pass is used to quickly burn out small amounts of slag trapped along the edge of the root pass. After your hot pass, you'll be running your filler passes. So right here, your filler passes. Make sure you weld in order. Always weld from the bottom to the top. Also, make sure you are cleaning your welds after each pass so you don't get slag trapped. Last, you'll be welding your cap or your face. So right here, your cap, face. The cover passes should be uniform and neat. No weaving or large passes. There needs to be a minimum of at least 3 passes for your cap. Remember, no rotating your pipe at all. It's going to be in the fixed position. So it's going to look like this on the jig, and you're going to be welding horizontal. I will do a demonstration on this when we go out into the shop. As always, if you have any questions or concerns about this video, please reach out to me. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks.